I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hello everybody! So I finally found a perfect spot for me to have a sit down talk with you guys because I have been wanting to do this, to have someone to talk to. And I've been walking for maybe around 2 hours now in this beautiful forest, which is just a 3-minute drive away from home. And I like to be here. So when I found this perfect spot, I just had a little sunbathing. I love the sun. This is the first day that I've seen the sun in so long after the very long winter days that we had. It's so nice. It's very beautiful, although it's a little bit chilly. Today it's 1 degree Celsius as of now, so it's still a bit chilly, but with the sun shining, I really can't ask for more. And I am just so happy to be able to experience this after what has been happening in this world. So, how are you guys? Sorry, I forgot. I've been talking a lot. I forgot to say, how have you been doing? This past winter, or should I say this past year, has been really awful, if that's the right word to say it. I can't actually really describe how the world has gone to. My heart bleeds for all those people who have lost their loved ones, and I also am very sad for what's been happening in the world. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people who ended up living in the streets just because they lost their jobs. And luckily for many of us in this country, there is actually what they call the government subsidy. So not a lot were financially affected, but in many countries there are a lot of people who really suffered financially, and my heart bleeds for them. In my case though, I am working and I am okay with that, but you know, you just can't describe it. You just feel so sad for everyone who are really experiencing difficulty in this time of pandemic that nobody was able to foresee. It's just very sad. And with the lockdown happening, I have heard a lot of stories in the news that there are a lot of couples who actually ended up separating their lives because they spent too much time together at home. Well, luckily for me, I am a very homebody, so I love it. I love being at home, and it didn't affect me as much as it affected everyone else. So when lockdown was announced here in the UK last March 2020, I wasn't really affected at all because I'm a person who finds a lot of joy being at home, and I have so many ideas on what to do. I love to do some paintings, I love to write, and I have a lot of things I am able to do at home that I really enjoy so much. So lockdown really didn't affect me that much until one time something happened that really changed everything for me. Last January, well, it was actually 31st of December, on on a New Year's Eve, my mom phoned me to say that she has a medical condition. It wasn't COVID related, but it was something that sounded really bad. And while I was very optimistic about it, I was actually very sad. But I prayed a lot, and she went into medications, and somehow the symptoms were gone, and I was back. Everything was back to normal, I should say. But never did I imagine for that to come back. Not even a 1 month after. Around mid-February, I think that was mid-February when she phoned me again. I was actually working at that time. And then she phoned me to say that the symptoms are back and it's really worse. And well, my mom is my whole world. She's my everything, and when I heard her say that, I couldn't even describe it. It felt like my blood, all of my blood came down rushing into my feet, and I just went cold. And I was very scared. It was beyond any words that I could not even describe that feeling. I was so scared. Everything I felt at that time was fear, and yeah. But then I tried to remain strong, and we tried to do everything that we could do. But little did I know that as I was trying to do everything for my mom, I was also falling down myself. I went into severe anxiety and panic attacks, and I have never imagined feeling that way. I could, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's just an awful feeling. I couldn't even swallow food, and to tell you, I have been wanting to lose weight for so long. I mean, I've been really trying hard to go on a diet, but diet is something that's so hard for me to do as well because I love food. I love eating, and I never managed to lose weight. And when that time came when I had my anxiety and my panic attacks, I just couldn't even swallow food. My heart was beating so fast that my body could cope. And every time I would try to swallow food, I would just, how do I say it in English? I don't know. Choke? Yeah, something like it couldn't go down my throat, if I'm saying that right. And I was shaking the whole time, and it was awful, it was terrible, and I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. And so my friend, a very close friend of mine, told me that I had to go get some help because that was not normal, and I was really going downhill. There were some times when I would just break down in the middle of working, and the people around me would be just wondering why I just broke down out of nowhere, because I'm a person who tries to be strong all the time, even though we can't be strong all the time. But I'm someone who likes to put on a strong face, if you know what I'm talking about. I like to put on a strong image because I always felt the need But when that happened, it was just terrible. I don't know if you know how it feels, but at one point at one point in my life, I actually felt like I didn't want to live anymore. It was just so hard. I must not have cried to God as much as I did during that time, because I just couldn't. It was something that I could not bear myself, and it was also something that I couldn't talk to my family because I didn't want them to worry about me, because we have enough worry already for my mom. So yeah, it was very hard, and I went into medication, anti I had antidepressant pills and something to calm my nerves, because I was really nervous all the time. It was like I'm having nervous breakdown every second of the day, and it was beyond imaginable. So I was under this medication, but it wasn't helping me at all. Maybe because the fear of facing the worst was still there, and and I was actually I'm lost. I'm lost thinking about it now. It's very hard to think of these things. So I felt like, although I am a loner type of person, at that time I actually thought I could do with some help. I could do with spending time with my friends, but I couldn't do it. At that time, UK was in full lockdown, and there was no way I could spend time with them. I wanted to go out and maybe have a meal in a restaurant to maybe steer my appetite, but it was impossible. There were no restaurants open, and even until now, there are still no restaurants open. So it was hard, and when I felt that way, I would just run to the bathroom and I would cry my heart out. I really would, and I was pleading to God to help me overcome my fear by having more faith in Him. I remember I was at work, and I was in the middle of a phone call and with a customer, and I was just so lost. And the very moment I put the phone down, I ran to the toilet and cried so much. I cried my heart out to God. I was pleading, no, I was begging Him to please calm my heart down, because it was beating so fast. I couldn't bear it, and I was sweating cold, and yeah, I'm talking so much, but all I actually really want to say is it's not easy to be experiencing this thing, and maybe you who are listening to me right now, maybe you have experienced it, and I just actually really want to say that there's hope, because then after that I I have recovered. I prayed a lot. I don't know what helped me. I was taking the pills that I don't know what the pills were, the antidepressant pills and the calming pills and all that. I've tried maintaining some peppermint tea, because they said that it's good, so I was taking that, and I spent my whole life, no, I spent my whole time, maybe 24/7, listening to music that was uplifting, and I've been reading books. I've been reading Bible. I was praying, and I was like begging to God to help me. Like, calm me down, God, please. I was praying for faith over fear, if that makes sense. And then I was, there was one time when I just thought, why am I losing so much hope? I mean, why I am fearing all of this when I know that there's God who can actually turn things in a snap of a finger. There was this post I made on Facebook years ago that came back as a memory, and it says, God made the world in 6 days, and who can tell you that He can change your life in just one? And I thought, yes, that makes sense. And if I just pray more and have faith in Him, then things will turn out to be good. And then I started to come down, and then my mom was still on medication, and then I got this phone call one day that the symptoms were gone and she was feeling a lot better. So I'm feeling a lot better now, although anxiety, panic attacks, they still come to visit me at sometimes. They still come scaring me sometimes, like in the middle of the night I would just wake up and I would just like to run and go nowhere because everything seems scary again, and my heart would be beating so fast again. So yeah, anxiety and panic attacks still visit me from time to time, but since I found that hope has never left me, and that's something I would like to share with you, that if you are experiencing anything, it may not be anxiety, it may not be panic attack, it could be depression, or it could be something else. But I just wanted to know that there's hope. The world is so beautiful. When I first came here, I thought like the winter time is so long. It felt almost like it consumed half of a year, and it's dark. The days are very short and it's very cold. But then, in just a snap of a finger, it's like from a very dark, cold day, spring comes on, and you will see the buds opening, and then you will see the trees having their first buds, and they look very happy. And then the sun comes out. Today is actually the first day that the sun has been out like this, and I just feel like it's so beautiful. The world has renewed its strength. The world has renewed its energy, and it's like it's giving me hope. It's giving hope for everybody else that even though the world has gone into a crazy time, there's hope as long as we keep on believing. Oh, I must have been talking a lot actually, and I'm feeling a bit chilly. I'm gonna have to wear my jacket because it's a bit chilly now. I don't know if it has gone below 1 degree Celsius because it was 1 degree earlier, but I was able to bear it, but it's really a bit chilly now. And thank you for listening to me. I will now continue reading my book, and I might be visiting the deers on the other side of the forest because there are deers over here, and I like to play with them, and there are also horses and other animals that I like to communicate with. And I don't know if they feel happy if people visit them, but I do feel happy every time I visit them. So that's what I'm gonna do. But for now, thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you guys are finding hope amidst the troublesome moments, amidst the troublesome times. And I hope that that you're doing well. I hope that you're coping up with everything that's going on, and let us be thankful to God for everything that we still have. Some people have lost so much, and even if we are also suffering, the fact that we are still breathing and our family is still okay, I think that's the biggest thing that we should be thankful for. And I don't know what else to say. I think I've been talking so much, so I'm just gonna switch my camera off for now so I can enjoy the sun and enjoy my book as well. And I will see you guys later on.